Hello everyone, I'm Ghulam Abdul Qadir and I'm a postdoc at Heidelberg Institute for Theoretical Studies. I'm going to present a paper titled Flexible Modeling of Variable Asymmetries in Cross-Coherence Functions for Multivariate Random Field. It is a joint work with my PhD supervisor Professor Ying Sun and the postdoc Carolina Yuan at the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. So, for introduction, the geostatistical data are the data which are indexed with geographical locations and time. And often these geostatistical data occur in multivariate format, which would lead to multivariate spatial data sets. This is one example of a trivariate spatial data in which we have the horizontal component of wind speed, vertical component of wind speed, and a PM 2.5 concentration over entire United States. And we can also see some missing values, which are here represented as white spots. A typical feature of such a data is the presence of spatial dependence, which means that the observations which are closer to each other tend to be more alike than those that are far apart. And this spatial dependence is present within each variable and also across different variables. And often this spatial dependence is quantified through covariance functions. And when we analyze such a multivariate spatial data set, there are typical goals associated which we want to achieve, which are statistical inference, which we might also want to do stochastic simulation. And perhaps the most important is the spatial prediction, in which we want to fill these missing values. In context of Gaussian process modeling, the conclusion of all these tasks heavily depends on the specification of covariance functions, which makes the covariance modeling an important field of research. For some notational background, let X be a zero mean p-variate second order stationary random field defined on a d-dimensional Euclidean space indexed with location S. Then the covariance function associated with this random vector X is a matrix valued function denoted here as CH, whose ijth entry Cij is defined as this expectation, and this function is a function of spatial lag. The diagonal entries Cii are called the marginal covariance function, and it codifies the spatial dependence within each process component xi, and the off-diagonal entries of this matrix valued function is called the cross covariance function, and it quantifies the spatial dependence across different components xi and xj. And it is well known that the covariance matrix associated with any random vector must be non-negative definite always, and therefore the choice of functions available for modeling this multivariate covariance function CH is limited to the class of non-negative definite functions. And that makes the covariance modeling a challenging task. While there exist many multivariate covariance functions in the literature, mostly all of them in their original formulation does not consider asymmetry in cross covariance function, whereas asymmetry can be a potential feature in the real data sets, which we will be discussing later. So let's talk about asymmetric cross covariance function. So symmetry means that the cross covariance function Cij of H is equal to Cji of H, or equivalently it means that Cij of H is equal to Cij of negative H. But many times this symmetry assumption is not satisfied in the real data, especially when there are moving phenomena involved, such as ocean currents, moving winds, etc. And in that case, the asymmetric behavior is often observed, where the response of one variable affects another variable delayed in space. And the asymmetry means that mathematically the covariance between variable xi at location s1 and xj at location s2 is not necessarily equal to covariance of xi and xj at the swap location index. And under stationarity, it simply means that the Cij of H is not necessarily equal to Cgi of H. The asymmetric cross covariance can be visualized as these plots. Here we have the three cross covariance functions from a trivariate process. In the x-axis, we have the spatial lag in the x direction, and in the y-axis, we have the spatial lag in the y direction. And here color represents the cross covariance value. So you can see that the C12 is not same as C21, and C23 is not same as C32, but C13 and C31 are identical. So we say that the variable 1 and variable 3 have symmetric cross covariance function, whereas other two pairs of variable exhibit asymmetric cross covariance function. To model such asymmetry, there exists a very popular class of asymmetric model given by Lee and Zhang, which we here denote as CLZ, in which we can introduce asymmetry in any multivariate stationary covariance function through spatial lags Li minus Lj. While this class of model is very beneficial for bivariate case, when the number of variables are greater than 2, this class of model lacks sufficient flexibility. And to overcome that drawback, we propose a more flexible class of asymmetric model, which we here denote as CA, in which we can introduce asymmetry in any stationary multivariate covariance function through spatial lag Lij. Now, to understand the advantage of CA over CLZ, we can take a look at this example, in which we have the three cross covariance function of a trivariate process from Lee and Zhang's model in the top row, and from the proposed model in the bottom row. On the left panel, we have the asymmetry controlling parameters. Now, if we want to introduce asymmetry, let's say in C12 of Lee-Zhang's model, we can change this, we can vary this parameter L2, and we see that we can introduce asymmetry in C12. But at the same time, C23 is also affected, which means that you cannot independently specify asymmetry in any one pair of variable in Lee-Zhang's model without distorting the asymmetry behavior of other pairs of variable. Whereas for the proposed class of model, we can introduce asymmetry in any pair of variable independently without affecting any other pair of variables, symmetry or asymmetric nature. Now, the next task is to derive the validity condition such that the proposed class of model will always guarantee a non-negative definite coherence matrix. And to understand, to derive the validity condition, we need to look at the asymmetry from spectral viewpoint. And for that, we use this one-to-one relation between coherence function Cij as the inverse Fourier transform of the spectral densities Fij, where the F matrix, where F omega is the matrix of spectral densities, which is a Hermitian non-negative definite for all omega, all frequencies omega. The diagonal entries of this matrix are called marginal spectral densities, and the off-diagonal entries are called the cross-spectral densities. Now, in case of asymmetry, we have Cij of H is not equal to Cji of H, which implies that Fij of omega is not equal to Fji of omega. But we also know that this spectral matrix F is Hermitian non-negative definite, so Fij of omega is equal to the conjugate of Fgi of omega. This means that asymmetry implies complex valued cross-spectral densities. And if we rewrite the cross-spectral density in polar notation, we can decompose it into cross-amplitude spectrum and the phase spectrum phi ij. This phi ij is very important in specifying the asymmetry because for multivariate coherence function with symmetric cross coherences, the phase spectrum phi ij is a function with this domain and codomain. And if we want to introduce asymmetry in any symmetric cross coherence function, we need to modify the phase spectrum. And one way to modify the phase spectrum is to define a new cross spectral densities Fij tilde by adding an additional phase spectrum phi ij tilde, such that phi ij tilde omega is equal to negative of phi ji tilde omega. Another quantity of interest is the coherence function, which we will be using later. Here we denote it as gamma ij, and it is the ratio of the cross spectral densities to the square root product of the marginal spectral densities. And now the challenge is to guarantee that this new spectral matrix F tilde, which is made up of the cross spectral and marginal spectral densities Fij tilde omega, is non-negative definite for all frequencies omega. It turns out that we can, if we restrict the absolute coherence function with this inequality, the resulting new spectral matrix is non-negative definite for all the frequencies omega. And for a particular choice of phi ij tilde to be the linear function of frequencies, what we get is the proposed class of asymmetric model Ca, which is valid if we restrict the absolute coherence function with this inequality. Now, to assess the benefits of the proposed class of model against the Lee-Zhang's model, we conduct a simulation study in which we simulate 100 realizations of zero mean trivariate Gaussian process under 3 cases of asymmetric multivariate Merton coherence functions. In case 1, we have the asymmetry between variable 1 and variable 2, whereas for other pairs of variable, they have symmetric cross coherence function. For case 2, we have asymmetry in all 3 pairs of variable and in the same direction. And for case 3, we have asymmetry in all 3 pairs of variable, but in different direction. We consider 3 candidate models, which is the proposed asymmetric model, Lee-Zhang's model, and a symmetric model over the simulated dataset. We fit these candidate models and we perform leave one out cross validation to compute prediction scores. And these are the model fit and cross validation results. In table 1, we have the goodness of fit summary for all the 3 candidate models in terms of log likelihood and AIC. And in table 2, we have the percentage reduction in prediction scores against the symmetric model as the base case. And the prediction scores we consider are MSPE and log S, which basically the higher the percentage reduction, better is the prediction. So you can see that for case 1 and case 2, the proposed class of asymmetric model significantly outperforms the Lee-Zhang's model, both in terms of goodness of fit and in terms of prediction. Whereas for case 3, the Lee-Zhang's model and the proposed class of model are qualitatively equivalent. So the Lee-Zhang's model could not perform well in case 1 and case 2 because it is not theoretically equipped to handle such kind of asymmetry, whereas the proposed class of model can handle the asymmetry in all the 3 cases, which shows the usefulness of the proposed class of asymmetric model. Now moving on to data application, we analyzed the trivariate dataset of PM2.5, wind speed and relative humidity over the northeastern climatic region of the United States. And we, similar to our simulation study, we consider the 3 candidate models and we compute the same statistics, which are log likelihood, AIC, mean square prediction error, and the logarithmic score. And based on these scores, we can see that there is a clear improvement in terms of goodness of fit and prediction when we use the asymmetric model against the symmetric model. And among the two asymmetric model, the proposed class of asymmetric model is slightly better than the Lee and Zhang's model, which shows the usefulness of our proposed class of model on the real data set as well. Now to conclude, we have proposed an approach to impart flexible asymmetries to the class of stationary multivariate Cohen's function when number of variable is less than or equal to 3. And future extension of this work would be to generalize the method for p greater than 3 and possibly for non-stationary processes. Thank you so much for listening.